Have you ever had that feeling that being a manager is just an impossible job? Well, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're diving into Richard Templer's The Rules of Management, which has over 100 rules. But don't worry, you don't need to memorize them all, because we're going to boil it all down to one single, powerful secret that honestly changes everything. Does this hit a little too close to home? Templar just gets it. He kicks things off by telling it like it is. You're put in charge of this collection of strangers, and suddenly you're on the hook for their work, their deadlines, their well-being. It's just a totally overwhelming ask.
Yeah, this so-called impossible job basically expects you to be everything to everyone all at the same time.
I mean, think about it. You're supposed to be a rock, a tower of strength, but also a warm, fuzzy shoulder to cry on. You need to be a skilled diplomat, but also a tough-as-nails judge, a financial genius, and, oh yeah, a literal saint. It's just a perfect recipe for burnout, right? It's like trying to spin a dozen plates at once, and you just know they're all about to come crashing down.
But what if that whole way of thinking is just wrong? What if there's a secret that cuts through all that noise and simplifies the entire job? This is where Templar gives us that huge aha moment, a total reframing of what it means to be a manager.
So what is it? What's the big secret? How do you actually get out of this trap and go from feeling completely overwhelmed to actually feeling like you're in control?
Okay, here it is. The secret is, you don't manage people. Let me say that again, because it's so important. You don't manage people. You manage the processes your team uses, and you manage yourself. See, people are actually pretty good at managing themselves, if you just give them the right environment. And this one shift in mindset, it turns the job from something frustrating and exhausting into something strategic and empowering.
So what this really means is your job is to get results through other people, not by trying to control them. You stop being a micromanager and you become a guide. You set the strategy, you provide the tools, and then you get out of the way.
All right, so that's the big idea. But how does it actually work in the real world? Let's look at 3 really powerful rules from the book that showed this new philosophy in action with your team.
First one up is Rule 17. Take the rap. And, oh man, this one is a game changer.
When something goes sideways, you're the one who steps up and says, "My fault. I take full responsibility." You don't throw your team under the bus. If the client is mad, it wasn't young Brian's fault. It was your process that failed. And the payoff for this? It's huge. It's loyalty. Your team will walk through fire for a manager who protects them like that.
Okay, next up is Rule 12. And for a lot of us, this one is kind of terrifying.
Let them make mistakes.
You know that old saying, right? Let me do it and I'll remember forever. Your job isn't to be a helicopter manager, preventing every single spill. It's to create a safe space for them to learn. Sure, you got to be ready to help clean up the mess, but you have to let them try to pour the juice. That's the only way they really learn.
And now we get to the really tough one. This is Rule 10. Be ready to probe.
This is where managing the process gets incredibly real. Templar uses this amazing analogy of an orchestra leader. If you have one flute player who's consistently out of tune, they're ruining the sound for everyone. You have to act. It's not personal. It's your responsibility to the collective, to the music everyone is trying to make together.
So that's how you manage your team's processes. But that's only half the secret, remember? The other half is managing yourself. Let's dive into your personal playbook, because mastering this part is absolutely critical.
And that playbook starts with Rule 43,
which is to know what you are actually doing. And listen, this has nothing to do with your official job description. This is about your personal game plan, your secret agenda. Do you want a promotion? Are you just trying to build skills? You need your own private map. Because once you know where you're really going, you can navigate any.
Next up, we have Rule 75. And for new managers, this one can feel pretty revolutionary.
Go home.
Templar tells this great story about a legendary manager whose secret weapon was his family. He went home on time every single day because his life outside of work was his real priority. And you know what that did? It gave him incredible perspective and confidence. He had nothing to prove at the office, which, paradoxically, made him an amazing leader that everyone wanted to follow.
And our final rule for managing yourself, Rule 80.
Don't badmouth your boss, ever.
Look, this isn't about being a suck-up. It's pure strategy. Complaining about your boss just makes you look weak and ineffective. Your job is to manage that relationship upwards. You either support them and help them succeed, or you quietly make your plan to leave. Undermining them only ends up undermining you.
So, after all these rules, what does it all really add up to? When you look past the daily grind, it's about the kind of impact you have. It's about the legacy you're leaving.
Templar brings this home with a really powerful image. He asks you to imagine that when you leave your job, they put up a little commemorative plaque for you. What does it say? And maybe more importantly, did you do enough to even earn one?
And really, that's the ultimate question, isn't it? When you stop trying to manage people and you start managing the process and, most importantly, yourself, you're not just surviving anymore. You're building something. You're crafting a legacy. So I'll leave you with that one thought. What will your plaque say?